first stepping stone on that like path to the first tournament for this team, you're going to get the best of them. And that's what I fear for Damascus Gaming coming into this first series, is you're going to get the best of FaZe, and that's something that you can't afford to play against.
Yeah, this is a scary roster. And at the same time, we talked about a team that doesn't have a lot of practice or reps under their belt, but this is one of the most experienced and most talented rosters that you can ever even have in Halo. So we are getting game number 1 underway. Looks like there's some quick battling going or taking place. This is Renegade, and he's got this sniper on his screen. They've got control and are already setting up right off the start.
Already aimed down sight on overshield. They're going to be able to get the overshield, the snipe, B control as well. They're going to be able to lose B here momentarily, but such a good position to retake it now with both power weapons and the overshield in your hands. So what can Renegade showcase for us early on this roster? You know, he's been waiting to try and put this thing together to be as confident as he once was with the Splice roster back in the day, a Cloud9 team. That's got to be the reason he wanted to join. This used to be Sentinel's roster in this FaZe clan representation. Now in Renegade, as we switch point of views, runs right into Common, hits the body shot, forces him back, and they're able to retake B.
And keep in mind, this is a roster that was at one point Optic Gaming, right? So this is a team that has been on Sentinels, Optic Gaming, and now on FaZe with a slightly different roster, that being Renegade instead of Lethal. But just to give you an idea of the longevity of this team and the success they've had over the last decade is almost, you know, on another level.
Battle for A right now, and it's going to be won, it does appear, by DG. Facty's going to be able to transfer A over. Overshield's coming up. A and B going in the hands of DG, so not too big of a lead so far for FaZe, but still early, and this battle for Overshield is so important. If Common's able to activate it, which he is, that's a step in the right direction, right? You're talking win conditions for DG. How can we manage to stay in this game? I would say Overshield and power weapon controls has got to be at the top of that list. They do a good job here on the second Overshield to secure it. The big question is, what does Common do with it? Yeah,
it looks like they're about to secure themselves not only that, but a triple cap. So they got 2, they got the Overshield, pick up a few kills, and now they're forcing all of FaZe to spawn over inside of A. When you saw that opening start, Wes, with Renegade grabbing the sniper rifle, getting set up at tower, and OS spawning in a few seconds, you almost thought, okay, GG already. But Leviathan or Damascus Gaming here, they said no. They, like I said, no pressure on these guys, which is a great thing to have at times. You know, we're not supposed to win this game. Anything we do, any cap, any kill, things that we get here is just going to bode well into their confidence, give them the energy, like I said, confidence they need to kind of really come out here and try to take one of these games. Looks like we may have had a lag out or something here.
100%.
Players kind of spinning around in circles and not trying as hard, and that is super unfortunate here for Damascus Gaming because they were off to a hot start.
Yeah, they came out and punched FaZe in the face, right? Even though, as we figure out what the ruling is, even though that we hyped up FaZe, we know the potential of FaZe, we still favor FaZe in the series. DG, they lose the opening break. Renegade gets sniped. Someone on FaZe gets the overshield. You think all is well, and they're about to start rolling with it. Somehow, some way, you weather the storm. If you're DG, you get the power removed from their hands, and all of a sudden, you find yourself with overshield in a trip cap situation. The lag out's unfortunate because replicating something like that exact situation that they would find themselves in, probably not going to happen twice against this team like FaZe. But FaZe versus DG, it's going to be a 37-point lead for DG after the lag out. So they will need 213 points. FaZe needing all 250. We've seen FaZe off the opening break win twice. Let's see if they can win for a third, or if DG has finally the algorithm to stop the pressure from Renegade.
And once again, this is what, now the third time in a row that we're seeing the opening start really kind of benefit Damascus Gaming over what you would expect with FaZe to come out, like we said, guns blazing here. So, like, even though they've had these resets, it is not affecting these guys. These guys, yeah, I guess at this point in time, too, a lot of these people, unfortunately, you know, we're used to it, even as you have to be at times, but just non-stop back and forth action, and you can see Damascus not afraid to just really pull, you know, guns out right at the enemy team.
Yeah, for me, it's about efficiency. You saw Renegade end up with a snipe after the opening break. Well, that's great. We got Stronghold B and we have C. and we're starting to score points. So unless you make a play with that snipe, which Renegade didn't, it actually benefits DG. So I love the objective efficiency they were focused on. Early prioritization of those strongholds has rewarded them a 42-point lead in this game on top of the 37 points. So right now, DG leading about 70 or more points right now. That's a significant lead to start this game off with.
Yeah, they've got to be feeling really good about that too. And if you are just tuning in as well, everyone, Leviathan Gaming is Damascus Gaming. For a lot of these scenarios, and with the tournament taking place today, if you saw on Twitter or everything else, Sentinels, FaZe, a lot of the new rosters are being announced just for this event alone here, and orgs and different players joining teams. So we're seeing the new Status Quo roster, which was a different name during the qualifier, and that goes for several different teams here in the tournament. So this is Leviathan Gaming you're looking at. It is Damascus Gaming.
Common wins a big 1v1 against SnakeBite, now tries to hop in A. Another 1v1 against Royal 2. You trade. And if Common's able to take down SnakeBite and Royal 2 and back-to-back 1v1s, that bodes well for DG's future here as he gets his 4th of the game. The battle for Overshield has got to be won by DG based off just positioning alone, but SnakeBite has the counter to that right now with this combo. A couple players did go down on DG. They are going to be able to hop into C with B controlled as well. You know they want to apply pressure to continue scoring. They now have the lead in this game momentarily, keeping in mind that they were down initially 37 additional points to the current score, but a trip cap is going to give them the lead even over those points here momentarily as well.
Now, this is where it's going to come in. Like, one of the hardest things for teams to do when you are getting trapped like this is breaking out, getting that first hill, and really putting your numbers advantage back on the table here. Now, FaZe, that is going to be something very difficult to do against this squad. So when we see them get set up, 3 members rolling together, kind of rotating around the map, will Damascus be able to kind of shut that down? That new sniper is up. It's going to go over to the hands of Renegade, and I don't think Damascus knows there's 3 players in C here looking to take this shot.
Common wants to finish Renegade but can't, and because of that, Renegade not only gets a shield back, but he has snipe in his back pocket. We know what he's capable of, and already the quick scope on the 1, the quick scope onto a second body. It's a plus 50 for the assist. Player spotted cuts, can't quite hit the no scope, but a ton of damage done. Renegade showing you he's going to bring his talents to South Beach this year, and this FaZe roster giving you a glimpse of what their individual skill can do to the impact of a game here with the snipe in hand.
So we're seeing the map split. Essentially, Damascus is all trapped in A, and FaZe is just looking to hold them there until they get an opportunity to maybe push for a triple cap. That Overshield's getting ready to spawn, and Renegade just ripping faces. Members dropping left and right here for Damascus, and that's going to be Overshield Sniper in their hands in just a moment.
Yeah, Overshield Snipe in the hands of Renegade. Something that Sentinels honestly knocks themselves at is their ability to get power-ups and power weapons. The pickup of Renegade, that's going to do it for him. I was able to coach this guy when he was playing for Straight Rippin' back in the Halo 5 days, and the first thing that stuck out to me about Renegade was the fact that he is a player that when things come up, he will be there to get them. He prioritizes them so well, and look at the damage that he can do. The killing spree comes through, and he's not done yet.
The level of respect that Renegade demands just on the map is insane. Everyone in this game knows exactly just how talented this player is. And you can see Sylvanic, he was top middle challenging Renegade. Renegade goes to the no-scope. I think he only had 1 shot left. But these guys, they don't even want to challenge or give him the opportunity to hit that shot because they know just how likely they are to get no-scoped in the face.
And this is what we wanted to see with this FaZe roster, right? Renegade's 11-4-3. We'll look right behind him. Royal 2, 10-1-3. The 2 main slayers for this squad are taking off, both tied at 11 now. It's a race to see who can get more. This score all of a sudden blown into smithereens, 190-49. They do have an additional 37 points, but even 194 to about 80, that's not much to work with.
You can see the collapse here, just flying in. Renegade leading the charge. Royal 2 coming in, cleaning up all the kills with that heat wave here. And you can just see where Royal 2 really excels when he has a player like Renegade that can kind of be that leader in the charge here for him. Although great play by Sylvanic to actually pick up and help secure a trade there. I thought he was dead to rights for a moment. They need a couple more of those if they have any chance of getting back into this. But FaZe, I think they're just going to be too fast here with the rotations. Yeah,
they're going to put all of the pressure on DG now to stay in this game. They're going to have to break this setup, and they're going to have to do it quickly. 207 and counting, just 40 points now needed. for FaZe to take their first game as a team in tournament form. And right now, Overshield's coming up, and Frosty's on top of it. He's going to be able to get this kill, you have to think. The shield, it gets drained, but the damage, it's been done. 4 dead once again for DG. Frosty's going to be able to split the map. They're going to force spawns back green. You don't often see that being the ideal situation, but when Renegade can set him up with snipe on the spawn trap, that's exactly what FaZe fans want to see.
And you can just see the level of Halo IQ in these scenarios here. Them able to secure the triple cap. Renegade having the sniper. They know exactly where their teammates are on the map, how they're going to force and trap Damascus Gaming here towards back B, and of course pick up an instant no scope or excuse me, quick scope on the player coming off spawn. And that's always a tough position to be in. We talk about how difficult it is sometimes to play when you're at a numbers disadvantage. Well, when you die and then get immediately spawn killed again, whether or not it's a sniper or grenade or anything like that, your team is now at a 3v4 disadvantage, you know, for between your 2 lives, the respawn times, everything else. It could be 20 plus seconds that you're on the death cam and your teammates are just getting collapsed on and killed. And so that one's definitely going to hurt a little bit. They were definitely, like we said, off to a better start even after the replay, kind of building up and getting that lead. But what happens when FaZe gets weapons and gets all their members alive and gets some sort of, you know, semblance of control? That's what happens. They're able to run a whole 250 point clock and just completely shut down the DG game or DG roster.
Yeah, the moment in the game where I was like, uh-oh, this isn't good, is the moment where Renegade spotted a guy nest, got him weak, left him, saw that snipe was up, and nobody on DG was there to contest snipe. Ever since that moment, Renegade picked up the snipe, went to work, as Renegade often does, and that game ended shortly after it felt right. It snowballed into overshield control, heat wave control. Royal 2 started having a party in the kill feed. And I mean, when those two are popping off and they have those power weapons, that's going to be such a difficult momentum ball to try and stop. And like you're saying, even the unorthodox opportunity, that's something that really stuck out to me towards the end of that game, right? Was, hey, we're going to block everything. And ideally, you don't want to spawn the enemy team green. I feel like that's a difficult situation to try and deal with at times. But they set up for it perfectly. Renegade anchored with snipe, knew that there was going to be a player pushing towards the garage door from those respawns over at green. Like you said, put them back in respawn. And when you can continuously keep someone dead, I mean, playing a man up isn't fair. Even the 4v4 probably seems unfair most of the time when you're playing against the Optic Gamings of the world, the FaZes of the world. And Renegade quickly made numbers the name of the game once again there. Taking a look at the series layout now, Aquarius Slayer being game 2. Kyle, when we have Empyrean CTF as game 3, we saw the damage that Renegade was able to do with snipe. We know what Royal 2 is capable of. Frosty, SnakeBite, they can all do it. That's got to be a massive warning flag for DG and what could be a dominant game opportunity for the likes of FaZe. Game 2, how pivotal is game 2 for this DG team to not stay in the series, but make it interesting enough to where you have confidence going up against other squads later on in the tournament? Because I'm going to be that guy and say this one, I'm pretty sure we both know the outcome.
Yeah, I'm going to say you're probably pretty accurate on that prediction. I'm not going to go against you here and try to prove you wrong in any case. I'm right there on the same page as you. I would say I would really hate to be down 0-2 against this new FaZe roster heading into an Empyrean CTF, right?
Yes.
So the Halo 3 remake against a team that has won Halo 3 tournaments before, right? So this is going to be, Empyrean plays in a way like we saw in the very first series of the day with Shopify, Rebellion versus Status Quo, 2 very, you know, individually skilled teams, somewhat fairly equal, right?
Right.
Status Quo actually wins the entire series, but in that game in particular, just being on Empyrean itself, you could see the level of experience that, you know, especially Rain and some of these guys just brought to the table. The fact that you're able to get into the enemy team space, constantly put pressure on them, and make them play defense the entire time while you build up a huge kill lead is very difficult to come back from. So the Frosty, Royal 2, SnakeBite, this is a team that executes perfectly on the old pit. It's going to pick up right where they left off on the new pit here on Empyrean, and Renegade will just kind of fit into that like a glove, I'd imagine, here, being able to just constantly push across the map and try to play the entire game from your enemy team space.
We have Aquarius Slayer before And hopefully DG can make this a series. Hopefully this game 2 is a little bit closer. I'm not asking DG to win this game. I'm asking for him to make it interesting in order to maintain confidence to where that game 3 isn't an absolute steamroll, because the way you just lost game 1 was dominant fashion. You lose the Slayer in dominant fashion as well. And that means game 3, which is a 5 flag to win Pit Empyrean CTF, that is a game where I could see a lot of stats being trying to produce to make this FaZe team look a little bit better. And there's one thing you don't want is Royal 2 statting on you, because he's one of the best in the game when he does so.
Oh, 100% here. And of course, 2 snipers on that map. And that's 2 weapons you want to keep out of every single member of FaZe.
2-1. FaZe get the early lead, make it 3. I don't believe Camo is in control of either hand yet. It is missing from top middle right now, so potentially burn, but the pressure, you just see it, different angles, aggressiveness, and who else other than SnakeBite to be front that base to finish off that kill, but to more importantly deny so much space and opportunity from DG right now. Camo actually in the hands of Frosty, and he can't even get there before the kills are impacted. Frosty's gonna have to rotate back across the map. The map's been flipped. It's an 8-4 lead for FaZe.
Yeah, you can see that fight that just took place front of the base was Sylvanic on the pillar, and I believe it was Renegade. That, I don't know if you noticed it, that nade from Renegade was so disgusting. It bounced it perfectly while jumping and falling backwards to bounce off the pillar and force the player to come out from behind it. Just pinpoint accuracy here from Renegade.
The Dynamos are coming in. The pressure from FaZe, it's not going to stop. The players, both in the utility, they're down. Right now, DG need to figure out a way to stop the momentum that FaZe have gained. FaZe have no plans on slowing down, and as Facty goes down, numbers once again in the hands of FaZe. They find a second. Last 2 players alive. A trap top the base. The thrust forward to deny the melee. The double kill, killing spree for Frosty. It was Royal 2 and Renegade in game 1 popping off. Frosty showing you he's got every bit of what it takes to be the MVP for this team.
You can just tell by looking at their screens how little fear they have and how they play with, right? There was zero hesitation for Frosty to fly in the base, not only avoid the guy that's right in front of him and just thrust away, because he has the confidence his teammates behind him to there and help. He has the heads-up awareness to focus the one shot to prevent a double team happening in the base, even though he's getting shot at from the side for a moment. And then the individual skill to then finish his first kill, turn around, and then help secure the second kill as well. It's just, you know, it's a scary thing to watch at times.
Absolutely. And the fact that he's just one of the 4 players on this team that's really capable of making those similar type plays, right? We see SnakeBite do that. We see Renegade do that. Royal 2 do that. I think that this team has that new level of confidence, and maybe that team change created like a new fire for these guys to take that next step to once again build some individual confidence that can go a long way. I know that's something we don't technically talk about a ton of times, is team changes are sometimes good for just for resets of mentality and getting out of what you have to be a routine, because sometimes breaking that routine is so important. Wouldn't be shocked to see this FaZe team take a new breath of life here with the side of Renegade, and it's very easy to do when Renegade's popping off.
Right. I mean, it's definitely, you know, sad almost to see the end of the era of, you know, Lethal, Royal 2, SnakeBite, and Frosty. You know, what an incredible accomplishment and run they were able to do for so many years. But what you said is exactly right. Sometimes a roster change or rosters at some points just run the course, and those changes are needed here, chemistry or whatever other reason may be involved for that. But 29-19 here in this game. Damascus not playing bad at all. You can see definitely a lot of solid like plays, good shots, kills on some of the players with thrust as they're kind of trying to win some of these 1v1 pivs. So, you know, like we said, weren't necessarily expecting them to win this game, but if they're able to keep it close, keep their confidence up, it could go a long way for them in the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. It was 20-9 at one point. They've done a good job to trade just about kills from that point on. Unfortunately, that's not really a win condition when you allow that 20-9 deficit in the first place, but doing a solid job of finding a kill before going down. You were no shield if you were Sylvanic there, and unfortunately the lead now up to 15, make it 16 as Camo comes up. And that's something that I want to touch on. FaZe's ability to control the power-ups throughout the series has just about been flawless. We'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the tournament, but if it does, I expect their success rate to be much higher than it was last year.
100% here. 40-24. So coming in towards the end of the game, it looks like all of Damask is trapped over towards the utility and card 2, and you can just see almost no hope. If you're not able to control the majority of the map in a game, eventually they're going to push through shocks, grenades, rust, push out, clear you out, and end this game here. So only 6 kills left to go, and still tons of time left on the clock. I think we're going to see just another collapse come in, and Damask is quickly unable to get their footing.
SnakeBite able to find one. The 2v2, it's won by SnakeBite and Frosty. They clear out the top of yellow, damage onto a third. The rest of the team starting to finish these kills. Great job by Sentinels there to trade each other's damage out to successfully capitalize on the damage being done by the individuals on the team. 1 kill to go. Can you get the stake? It's a matter of a 1 kill difference for both sides right now for that to be the detriment here. And Breakingshot, he does get a kill, breaks the 30 kill mark, but that's going to be it. FaZe are going to take the game 50-30 over DG, going to take the series lead to a 2-0. And game 3 is going to be Empyrean CTF to see if this door gets closed, and all fingers pointing to a FaZe victory here early on in this bracket. But I mean, they are in this pool, and I mean, FaZe look as bit of strong as I thought they would coming into this tournament. Anything sticking out to you, Kyle, that says you think they have even higher of a ceiling, or is this what you pretty much expected?
I mean, I would say this is definitely what I expected. I think, like, in that game number 1, there was definitely some good hopes for other teams, considering, I mean, maybe like poor breaks off the opening, where you saw Damascus kind of really get control and get the initial setups. I don't think we're going to be able to really tell much of anything about this FaZe roster from these series. We already know they're going to be amazing, right? Like, there's just no way these 4 players together can't be amazing. But there's a lot of amazing teams right now. Their ceiling is a big question mark. If they're able to find that the rhythm, get their teamwork and chemistry down, which we already know the team has without Renegade, they will be a scary, scary force here. But even with that FaZe roster last year, right, that was a team that kind of underperformed as far as expectations go. You know, you always talk about which team, or, you know, Optic has 2 or 3 or 4 of the top 10 players. So Sentinels has 3 of the top 10 players. FaZe has 2 of the top 10 players in the game. Whenever you're putting all these people you consider are arguably the best players in the game, but then they underperform, like, that is something that can happen. Sometimes you have just too many Slayers on one team. I think one of the clips, if you're watching the pregame show, Rhino talking a little bit about that. Sometimes chemistry over individual talent will go a long way just because of how important teamwork is, or without the appropriate IGL on your team, you're just not able to keep everyone on the same page here. So I think what we're seeing with this team is just a quick showcase into this new roster, what they're capable of. But any kind of ceilings or floors, like, we're not even going to see yet. These guys aren't going to get tested to their full limits here for quite a while.
I agree with that. I agree. This is kind of like a stepping stone in the right direction. Business as usual for the FaZe clan, and they've looked good so far through games 1 and 2. As expected, if they were to lose games, I think that would be a completely different story that we would be talking. But as long as they get the job done here in this series, and without dropping a map, I would say everything pretty much went as expected. We'll learn more as we go, and hopefully we get to see them go off against the likes of the champions in Optic Gaming and this new Sentinels roster, the other top dogs in the scene right now, and see what they bring to the table in those matches specifically. But at the end of the day, one of the biggest things I always used to say as a player was anybody can win a best of 5, right? Any given Sunday is the name of the game. There's a reason that's a coined like saying, and it means like players got to make decisions live in these like individual games in order to dictate the outcome of them, right? There's a competition for a reason. We're not just crowning anybody. So we'll see if they have what it takes this weekend to take this tournament. Optic Gaming going to have to prove themselves, even though they're world champions, that they can win the Snowdown Invitational here from the SSG side. So couldn't be more excited to see the first Empyrean match here and competitive play, I'd say, outside of your showcase match last year, Kyle, at the ACS event. That was a phenomenal showing from Richie Hines and the Triggers Down squad. Wish Instinct would have showed up, but I'll let that be. But I'm excited to watch these two teams go at it, and more importantly, I think you touched on it best. I'm excited to see some guys with a lot of Halo 3 experience go at it and play at the highest level, and see what kind of highlight reels we'll put on, because I'm just playing matchmaking with some of these guys, even like Rule 2 per se, and it feels like every time we play a Pit or an Empyrean game, this guy gets at least a clip a game.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The thing, what you're able to do on this map, one, the map is very small at the end of the day. You know, tight hallways, not many places you need to move to in order to gain different lines of sight onto different spawners. And with the repulsor, heat wave, 2 snipers, rockets, spike grenades, drop shield, everything else on the map, you can pull off insane plays. And repulsor on this map in particular is one of my favorite things, what you're just able to do. We are underway here, and it looks like we are seeing a little bit of a better start for Damascus as we started. Royal 2 does get stuck by Common. Sniper rifle is down. Rockets is over in the hands of Damascus as well, and they are in a good opening position here in game number 3.
Yeah, one of the questions we just had answered was, who you giving snipe to at the start of a Pit CTF game on the side of FaZe? I think Royal 2 is the obvious answer, and that's the one they went with, but I mean, if anyone's feeling it, you know, everyone can pick it up, but Royal 2, he's been removed. We're seeing DG in a phenomenal position here to potentially get a flag on the move, but as I say that, they seem to be trapped in Mauler, and although they get the kill on the Frosty with that overshield, it takes both rockets and their life, and it looks like that flag is going to be not only stalled, but their own flag is on the move. And look at that, SnakeBite efficiently getting that flag on the move, trusted his teammates to get the slays on his side of the map, and already FaZe take a 1-0 lead here just a minute in.
And you can see that was such great position from Damascus to open that up. They had the sniper, they had rockets, they had everything but overshield, but it was a great flank by Frosty, and I think it was well, SnakeBite grabbing flag, Frosty with a flank. Even though he goes down, he made them waste 2 rockets. They helped trap them all in Mauler, and if you sit in a tight area like that for too long, especially Mauler where there's just no exits, they're gonna be able to nade you out and clear you out. And sure enough, SnakeBite with an incredible heads-up play. He's not just grabbing the flag and running it for no reason. They are paying attention to how many people are dead, where everyone else is on the map, and if he can actually pull this flag without being contested. Once they acknowledge that we have these players trapped, no new respawner is going to spawn up and be able to stop you from running that, SnakeBite pulls the flag, runs it all the way back, and essentially secure a counter cap.
Nobody home yet on these snipes on the end of Royal 2. New snipes just came up, but Royal 2 still has the old one. Can't quite find these headshots. Very unlike him. But you have to think it's only a matter of time the more ammo he seems to find himself. Right now, the break, it's been turned into a stalemate right now. So often do we see first kill make the difference. SnakeBite finds it with the combo, shoots the drop wall as well to remove that from the situation. And with numbers, FaZe look to push.
And you can see just no fear coming out. The plasma just a little bit too high right over Facty's head. He's able to stay alive and buy some additional time. Frosty, he himself has got a sniper rifle as well. Pushing up, does grab 1 kill, 2 down for each team. So it looks like they decided to just elect to reset. But as I say that, Frosty, another no-scope. Make that 2 as he gets a body shot on Common as well. And this is just the danger of FaZe. There's a 2v2 scenario. You think things are going to slow down and you get a little bit of a stand. Oh my, I don't even know what to say, Wes.
This was the conversation I was having. Who do you give snipe to? Because look, Renegade now is going to give us a show after Frosty gives us a show, and they gave it to Royal 2 at the start, so everybody getting this opportunity to pop off with the snipe. Renegade can't quite line the headshot up on the top turret player, but gets away with his life. The flag on the move, the pressure on DG, about to go down 2-0. You got to push, but unfortunately, you're being held by some of the best in the game with some powerful weapons as well. Not to mention, of course, SnakeBite himself found himself the rockets. He's going to stop running this flag for a moment until his team can acquire a few kills, and if they get a few, flag's going to be on the move once again.
Oh, and that just hurts. They were down in a 2v3 scenario, right? Royal 2 drops to over by sword. SnakeBite stops running flag and just sits there with rockets in Mauler, waiting for an opportunity. Sure enough, he grabs himself a kill, pushes the flag all the way across the map. Now there are 4 sets of rockets, right, in this, so there's 2 more rockets in the hands of Damascus Gaming to try to shut down and secure this flag.
They get a touch.
The touch does come in, but none of these rockets have been used. They really need to get a kill on this player here.
Oh no. Renegade comes with overshield too little too late. I was gonna have to say, you got to get involved with those rockets. You cannot sit there and bait for that long. Eventually FaZe will come, and destiny has arrived in the hands of an overshield Renegade. He denies that rocket with a repulse, ends up finishing off the last. They get that second cap. They have control as well, and Frosty has the intention of making this a 3-0 game. Frag on the move, kills coming through in the kill feed for FaZe is a good thing to see if you want this third cap to go in. And these slides make this flag run a little bit quicker as he fumbles it onto the plat, but doesn't even need to influence the players over on training. A 3-0 lead now. FaZe double cap in that situation. It was a misplay with the rockets. They couldn't get the return, and now DG on the brink of elimination.
And it just looks like every time they pull the trigger on this sniper, it's connecting with some sort of a shot, either a headshot or body shot, and Damascus just not able to get their footing. I haven't seen all 4 members alive for Damascus in the last, 3 minutes of this game. It's just non-stop pressure and aggression here.
I was about to say, there it is.
Oh my goodness. And of course, none other than the last bullet in the sniper. SnakeBite flies out, connects with another headshot, and that might even be enough to continue and keep this flag alive.
Yeah, that was SnakeBite showing you he has what it takes with the snipe as well. So we've seen it from all 4 points of view so far here in this game. 6 minutes left, and that feels like an eternity on the side of DG right now. Down 3-0. A comeback would be an unbelievable monumental task, and unfortunately I don't think they're going to have the opportunity. Getting slaughtered, getting trapped in green, the heat wave, the combo all being used. Not to mention you still got to deal with Frosty in your base.
You can see they FaZe is not wanting to play this any slow, or it's slow at all. They do not want to waste any time. They want to get 5 flags on the board, close out this series, and look forward to the rest of the tourney here. SnakeBite, he's got a sniper rifle. It's both sniper rifles now over in the hands of FaZe once again. And unless Damascus is able to get those out of their hands, they're just going to be, like fish in a barrel here for the rest of the game.
It's almost unFaZe-like to do that too. To push the advantages, to really push for this 4th cap. You can tell they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to make plays to get this game over with. I feel like in the past we've seen Royal 2 go comfortably on rampages as his team wins 1-0 on Pit CTF. Not this time around. I feel like FaZe are here to make a statement.
Oh, absolutely. See the sniper rifle still in his hands. He's got 5 shots left to play, challenging out, trying to help secure some kills here for Frosty as he picks up a trade. And they have just locked down Snipe Tower or Mauler with these snipers for so long. They just cannot get out of their base. And the times they have gone out, they've tried to force flags and just do whatever they can to get some of these weapons. But when the enemy team, when a team like FaZe is hitting all these no-scopes on you, it doesn't matter how good you are. You are going to lose the game. There's just nothing you can do to stop it.
Look at that. The repulse up to the plat. The teamwork comes through. Great communication. We'll make this flag run even quicker as World 2 still in the base, getting kills in the kill feed. Allows SnakeBite to get the run off the plat. Makes it to the green jump. The mechanical skill to do that as well. And I mean, just perfect play out of FaZe here. 4-0, 4 minutes left. Facty with 11 kills on the other side. That's impressive, but just not enough to stop the pressure from FaZe.
You can just see they can't even move more than a few feet before they're immediately getting shot and contested.
Is this a replay?
And this will be the 5th and yeah, it almost looks like it. The 5th and final flag cap moving across the map. And getting 5 flag caps is no easy task in a lot of these game types as well.
There's an opportunity here. It's not over yet. Unfortunately, the flag being pulled. World 2 still in the base. On the frenzy, he secures it. And maybe he was just letting his teammates let him know, hey, I need one more for the frenzy. They're going to put this one in as they get the return. 5-0, 3-0. FaZe Clan take the game, take the series, and showcase to the world the new roster and what they could potentially bring to the table come Saturday in the finals.
Yeah, this is a scary squad. There's already been a lot of surprises this morning, so FaZe obviously looking extremely strong. This is a roster that they've wanted to put together for quite some time. I mean, if you followed and kind of paid attention to some of the rumors last year, before Renegade went to FaZe, this was a big question mark of whether or not he'd end up on Sentinels as well. So with their team, the team that they've wanted finally being put together, these guys are definitely looking forward to matching up against the Optics, the SSGs, and some of these other top teams that we have in the scene here. So they are not disappointing. The killing frenzies, the amount of no scopes, headshots, and 5 fly caps in pit, everything's boding really well for this new FaZe squad.